Has entered the chat. Game day, baby. Ooh, ooh. Let's go. Travis Thomas here with George Balekji. Hey, the boys are back in the chat. You gotta love it. GB, good to see you, and I'm ready for game one.
It's good it's finally here. The day I get named NBA commissioner, I'm working flexibility between the conference finals and the finals in. None of this layoff. But in a way, you know what? The NBA won. Because we had networks zooming in on Jayson Tatum's face for 5 days saying he ain't happy for Jaylen Brown. All this.
Facts.
Still king. But seriously.
Facts.
I'm more excited for this finals matchup than I was for 2022 when I was here for that. And obviously there's the excitement there. This is going to be such good basketball.
Why are you more excited for this one than that
Because
one?
this Celtics team is historically one of the best we've seen. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown have been there but failed. It's not their first trip, right? How it's built out. And they still are susceptible because we don't know what we'll get with Porzingis. But it's new blood. It's not the Warriors. It's not LeBron because it's Luka on the other side too. And it's either Luka comes in, steals the hearts out of everyone in New England's chest and smashes it, or Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown finally pull through. The legacies we have going into this one. Jrue Holiday could punch his card into the Hall of Fame. Jayson Tatum automatically becomes top 5 in Celtics history if he gets it. Jaylen Brown enters the top 10 competition. Or Luka goes, I've arrived.
Right.
And the rain on the guys coming over from
Kyrie's
Europe.
second.
First ring without LeBron.
Yeah, first ring without LeBron.
We're going to get into all this, as you can tell.
Yeah, we'll talk. Obviously.
I am so stoked to talk about this.
We're going to break the finals down all the way through, of course, but all of us will. Boston has entered the chat. 617-790-0928. Come be a part of it. Leave us your voicemails. How about this? Leave us your emails as well. The chat at nesson.com. And we're also going to get to your tweets. You always send us some tweets, and we love that. I think I am as excited for this finals as the 22. Now, here's the deal. I just got here for those finals. I literally got here in 2022. So I feel as though there was some arrogance there, George. There was a little bit of course I show up and the team's in the finals. I mean, of course. This time around, I'm much more humble, George. I've had
you
some
were Mr.
humble pie.
Two Parades.
Yeah, I was. Yes, I was saying.
Two Parades.
Like 2 chains.
It doesn't sound right when you have that many more syllables.
Well, also, we're not getting that. But, hey, maybe we'll get one. I'm ready for some duck boats. All right, here's what's trending and caught our eye coming into the show here. Did you see LeBron James called Joe Mazzulla on the Mind the Game podcast? He said that Joe Mazzulla guy is a bleeping genius. This was all because he liked the fact that Joe Mazzulla called decided to foul, not called a timeout, decided to foul with the Celtics up 6.
2 possessions.
Right, and LeBron said, man, why didn't I think of that? So I would just maybe implore LeBron to watch more Celtics games because there are some head scratchers that Joe Mazzulla does as well.
Yeah, that's true. It was LeBron being big on foul when you're up 3.
Yes.
You'd rather have the ball in the lead than potentially tie it. So you saw Mazzulla call for a foul against a Pacer, 16 seconds left, up 6.
Right.
They foul McConnell. He hits 2 shots. Doesn't matter. It's just LeBron in his echo chamber of, I'm going to say this guy's a genius because really I'm calling myself a genius. And this is on Mind the Game, which is him and JJ Redick. JJ Redick is boys with Joe Mazzulla, and I love JJ Redick. I think he's one of the best when it comes to talking hoops, basketball, all that. I really do love what JJ's doing. I think he's better as a podcaster than he is as a color analyst, but he's doing great on the broadcast and growing there. But it's just JJ pumping up his boy Mazzulla, and then LeBron pumping him up too. They're all boys. They're all friends, and that's fine. Nice circle, man.
How long till LeBron turns on JJ Redick?
When JJ's the head coach of the Lakers? 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
I take the under. Listen, I hope the genius Joe Mazzulla that LeBron is talking about shows up in the finals. Because you know one thing I know? Jason Kidd's going to coach his ass off for his team.
And Joe Mazzulla is going to match that with, all right, so we're down 3, under a minute left, give Tatum the ball in the wing, dribble for 21 seconds, no one move, Jason sidestep 3. Brick, lively rebound game. Free throws.
I mean,
I'm sorry, guys.
Listen.
I expect the worst. I'm hoping for the best.
Right. Fair.
I set my expectations low. So I'm pleasantly surprised.
I'm sticking with Celtics in 6, and I feel confident about it. And here's one of the things that I kind of hope doesn't happen. But if he earns it, great. I don't really want to get into the coaching chess pieces. Like, I would rather not get in a situation where all these games are tight. They all come down to late game scenarios, and it's all about what adjustments are being made. How are you managing the clock with timeouts? I really want to avoid that for Joe Mazzulla. What I'm hoping happens here is that this Celtics team is so damn talented and just kind of outclass the Mavericks. And they win in 6 games. A couple of them are tight, but for the most part, it looks like every other Celtic series that we've seen. That's what I'm hoping for. And then that buys Joe Mazzulla more time on the gig to learn and to improve
3
and to
years
get
instant.
better. Yeah, like he has a ring. Like, you give him time to
Tatum
grow.
loves him.
I just don't want to see him get exposed in the finals because I think Jason Kidd is doing a masterful job. I got to be honest with you. I just don't think Jason Kidd has the horses that Joe Mazzulla does. He has 2 of them. That's it.
The defense is defense is always going to be ready for the Celtics. It's what's going to happen in crunch time. You can get your stops. Can you execute at the other end of the floor? That's a question. And what did Dallas do? They did the same thing the Celtics did.
Yeah.
Timberwolves, except for Game 5, obviously, had the lead last 5 minutes of every game.
Sure.
Mavs came back the first 3. T-Wolves held them off in the 4th. Mavericks blew them out in the 5th game. Pacers had the lead last 5 minutes of every game in that series.
That's right.
Celtics came back and just absolutely ran them. I'm talking 15-4 runs to end the last 2 games. So Celtics executed in the crunch time. Mavericks did too. But this defense for the Mavs, it's top 3. When they got everyone in check after the Washington trade, after getting Gafford, after getting all their ducks in a row, been top 5, top 3. So it's going to be a lot tougher than a matchup with the Pacers, who are the worst defense remaining in the playoffs.
What else is trending? How about this? TD Garden opens its doors up for Game 3 and 4 watch parties. It's the first time ever that TD Garden has done that. I think that's really cool. When I covered a Stanley Cup run for the Capitals, the arena down there in D.C. did the same thing for the road games when they were in Vegas. If I remember, that was a 5-gamer, I think, so it was only 1 game. But basically, or 2 games. But basically, it was really cool. Like, fans were in there. It was super loud. It kind of felt like there was a game going on. You just didn't see anything on the court or the ice in that case. But, it's a great opportunity for fans to come together and still be loud and scream and cheer their team on.
Dude, you're getting in the door for this finals game. You're dropping $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Easy.
But these are fans. Like, tickets start $20, $30, $40.
Right.
So you experience the atmosphere. Yes, it's not in front of you on the floor, but hey, the massive Jumbotron they got that's in 4K at the Garden.
Hell yeah.
The sound system. And that's going to have 17,000 people in there. So you have the feel of being at a finals game without actually being there. I love this idea. I'm astonished the Garden hasn't done it before.
Me too.
It must work out with concerts and stuff. Like, I don't care to look up what they did in the past. I'm just happy they're doing it now.
Yeah.
They realize they have that openings for Game 3 and 4. Do it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great experience for the fans. And I have to look at this of a way. I'm someone I want to watch on my couch, volume all the way up. I don't want to be at a sports bar where hopefully they're piping in the noise, I don't even want to be with like more than 5 people. Like, I want to be locked in watching. I don't want to have a conversation. But I think otherwise this is awesome because this is for true Celtics fans. And again, it makes it accessible, that atmosphere, being in the Garden, if you can't actually get in the door for the finals games because the tickets are astronomical.
Yeah.
I love this move by TD Garden.
Yeah, it's a good point. I've seen actually a couple articles and read a couple stories that are about that, where it's like fans that have gone to Celtics games this season are being priced out with these outrageous prices. So you bring up a good point of, look, watch parties much cheaper. You go in there, you still get your buzz on. Hello, pour it up. Come on, cheers. And it's a lot cheaper, I mean, I think it's great. And you're amongst your Celtics tribe. That's beautiful.
You still go to Tavern in the Square,
right?
Or Warren Tavern. You get bundled. Walk into the Garden, have 2, 3, 4 more, 5 Bud Lights. Delete them all. Get more bundled, and you watch a game. Everyone's getting bundled, even though it's 85 out.
By the way, you were telling me this. This is trending as well. Paul Skeens went off last night. What happened?
Shohei Ohtani, 3 straight pitches, 100-mile-per-hour plus fastballs, struck out the best bat in baseball. Ooh. And Skeens has been on fire. I mean, he had that shaky first start, but his last 3 starts, all 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 1 earned run, 2 earned run. And for his strikeout numbers, his second start, 11, 3, 9. So he's just been on fire. That was the 3 starts leading up to that matchup with Ohtani. You're facing down the best batter in baseball. This is what baseball needs. Like, this is huge because obviously Shohei Ohtani is one of the most popular athletes in the world, right? But he's playing baseball, which is one of the most unpopular sports. But Skeens, on the opposite end of that, if he pans out, I don't know, man. Throwing at this velocity, his arm could give out in a year or two. But if Skeens pans out, again, that's a big face. And it is a pitcher where once every 4 or 5 games, people tune in to watch. Baseball needs this, right? Yeah. Remember, on the reverse, it was Ohtani against Trout, the World Baseball Classic.
That's right.
And that was a great moment. This, if it can be what it is, because Skeens was a stud at LSU, now been a stud for the Pirates very early on. I'm not saying if he's a hit yet or a bust, too early to evaluate. But baseball needs this because Paul Skeens is a household name.
Yeah.
It's beyond people that watch baseball. It's people that love sports, and it goes into what it is modern day. Is he marketed in the households where kids that don't watch baseball know who he is? Yes. It's because it's Paul Skeens, the LSU Tiger. It's Paul Skeens that dates Livy Dunn, right? Like, all that matters.
TikTok era.
Baseball needs this, and it is the first taste they get at it. Let it keep happening, especially in a great sports city like Pittsburgh.
I know you said it's too early to say whether or not he's a hit or a miss. I'm going to say it. I think he's an absolute star. The question is, and you brought this up, is the guy's elbow, is his body going to hold up? Because all these star pitchers, I mean, their elbows explode within a few years. So we'll see. But as far as I'm concerned, for everything you said, everything that comes with him, his personality, who he dates, all of it, his electrifying style, throwing the ball. I think the kid's an absolute superstar and a stud, and I just hope we can get it for a long time because I even like the way the Pirates are building that team. It feels they remind me a lot of the Orioles as they were doing this and starting to come up, and now we see all the fruits of that labor. They're a real World Series contender. I like what the Pirates are doing. It kind of reminds me of that blueprint, and we'll see if a year or two from now,
they can make it pan out.
Guess what? That Orioles move went a lot faster than all of us thought. It was almost like, okay, O's look pretty good, and then the next year, oh my God, they could go to the World Series. So it happens fast in this league, and with Skeens and the rest of the young talent on that team, as long as his body holds up, I think the Pirates are going to be a real player here shortly.
And what's important for him is like his 3-pitch repertoire is a 4-seamer, split finger, and a slider.
Right.
None of that sweeper. Because a slider has movement and break, but not speed. A sweeper tries to mold the two. Just stick with that, and then he'll be okay, especially because he can get the velo up to obviously 100 plus.
Sure.
Get you that slider, knee buckles you at 85. But get this, too. I think the best part, because that was the first at-bat where Skeens saw Shohei.
Yeah.
Second at-bat, Shohei took him 415 feet straight dead center. And this is the Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani takes Paul Skeens, dead center, cold cocks him right to center field, drives in 2 runs. The other run that scores, Mookie Betts. That's the Dodgers. See, you knew it. So, but hey, Skeens had that moment, and you know what it is? It's when you're scrolling through Instagram, you see that 3-pitch strikeout, Skeens starts trending, Shohei responds. Dude, this is huge for baseball.
Yeah, it is.
Skeens got him, Shohei got him back.
2 stars going at it. Hey, what do you think? 617-790-0928. You can also email us, thechat@nesson.com. Also, send us those tweets. We'll get to those in a moment. But you know where we're diving in now, baby, don't you? Game 1. Let's go. Banner 18. Loading. Let's break it down. Game 1 tonight. Your expectations, my friend.
We have to get it out of the way, though.
What?
Your call for the finals is?
Celtics in 6.
Mine was Mavericks in 6. I'm going Mavericks in 7, but I'll stick with it. I was with Ante Campbell. No. I'm Mavericks in 6.
I
gotta dig my heels in. I'll feel right about it. I feel dirty.
Why?
And I would say Mavericks in 7, but Game 7's in Boston.
Yeah, Kyrie winning in Boston would be. Why Mavs in 6?
So
talk to me.
The way this matches up, the Celtics are the only team. They're going to throw an offense that the Mavs haven't seen yet in this playoff run, which is a 5-out, right?
Okay.
Everyone on the floor can be a threat and shoot. When Porzingis is healthy and a go, and when Al Horford has his legs under him.
I'm with you so far.
More importantly, defensively, what the Celtics bring is you'll see Jaylen Brown on Luka, which is going to be big because how it's been is the offense runs through JB because Jayson Tatum gets the opposing team's best defender.
Right.
Jayson Tatum likely gets PJ Washington. So they'll run the offense through Jaylen Brown, who has what? Derek Jones in front of him, maybe Derek Lively, who can match him on the perimeter. But then it comes into the threats of what Derek White does, everything right, Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis, right? So it would likely be Jaylen Brown on Luka, and everything's going to be switched. Obviously, Luka's going to find his space. All right, is it a D White who's strong? Is it a Drew that gets switched onto him who's even stronger and stout like a Lou Dort? That's a tough matchup for Luka. But this isn't TJ McConnell and Aaron Nemhard. This isn't Karis LeVert when he was playing in Darius Garland. This isn't Tyler Hero and Caleb Martin. It's Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. And for the question of how healthy is Derek Lively, he gets back into Game 5 and plays 25 minutes. Maxi Kleba comes back from that shoulder injury he had from the Clippers and brings back range, shooting, defensive play, size, right? Gafford, it's a team that's hot at the right time with the Derek Jones Jr., with the PJ Washington, who could both defend on the perimeter. And a Kyrie Irving who is... He'll keep deflecting from what he was during his time in Boston, but takes that brunt. Like, I'll go in, I'll be the villain. You go be Luka. But Luka relishes and being the guy to go into a garden and silence the crowd, right? What did he do Game 5 against Minnesota? Came out in the first quarter and said, I am going to snatch your heart out of your chest. First 2 shots, 30-foot threes. Goes in mid-range, doesn't care to go to the basket. Next shot, beyond the logo, 3 hits. But still gives a ball up to his guys and gets them hot. Luka's been playing in these moments since he was a young teenager against 30, 35-year-old men.
Stage isn't too big.
In Europe, 60, 65-game seasons he was playing in. Exactly. Been to the Western Conference Finals and fell. But everything's come right. And I've told you this on the pod. Tell me yes or no if I've said this before. You know what, Trav? You know what I watch for in Celtics opponents? If they're a top 3, top 5 team on both ends of the floor. I always, right?
Yep.
And those are the teams that give trouble to the Celtics.
Right.
And as we said in the beginning, Joe Mazzulla matters here. Kristaps Porzingis matters here. And this will go into my Game 1 pick. I don't know if you get KP for a 6-7 game series. And I'm not saying I don't think he's going to be 100%.
You never believed in it.
This is Kristaps Porzingis, his first game back in the finals, first game in 37 days. And leading up to this, he goes, so a few days helps me out. Wait, what? I thought you were good to come back Game 4 against the Pacers, Game 5 if needed, right? You still need time to get back. And the demand on his body at 7'3", what he does on both ends of the floor. To be a spacer, draw Gafford, draw Lively to the perimeter, get those rim runners away, get those shot blockers away.
Get them out of there.
Open up the paint for Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And then on the other end, defensively, disrupt the lob threat that Lively and Gafford provide on this offense, who Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns had trouble with. Whatever your opinion is on Gobert, that's a 4-time depoy, right?
Right.
A lot rest, and that's why I say Mavericks in 6. I am skeptic of Kristaps Porzingis. It matters who's healthy right now. Luka's knee has gotten better, but what is big, he had trouble against Dort and the Thunder. Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown matched that. And I have to be completely honest, Luka's got that dog in him.
Yeah, he does.
He is a killer.
Yeah,
He's been hitting game winners well before this postseason, since he came in as a rookie.
He's been a killer.
Who's got the biggest dog in this matchup? Mavericks. Late in the game, and I said it. This isn't the Pacers. This isn't the Cavaliers. It's the Dallas Mavericks who are top 3 both ends of the floor. Luka scares the hell out of me because it's going to come down to last 5 minutes, last 2 minutes in a game. Who do I want taking a shot? It's Luka Doncic. It's not Jayson Tatum settling. Play like you're 6'9", JT. If he does, goes to the rim, attacks, uses size, uses strength, Celtics win.
Okay.
I believe in the best player in this series. And the Celtics, I'll say it too at the end. They have 5 of the 7 best players in the series.
Right.
They have 2 of the top 4. Kyrie's a 4th best player. JB's better than Kyrie. But
they don't
it's
have one.
Luka.
Right. All right.
Right. And I said all that. It sounds like Celtics in 6, right?
No.
Celtics in 7 with my point.
No, I mean, look,
it's just this is a good Mavericks team and hot at the right time. Beat 3 50-win teams.
Your whole
Done.
Your whole monologue there, I was looking for where we disconnected. And I only wrote down 2 names. Let's start with Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, listen, I think he is going to be just fine. I think Game 1 certainly could be
Knock rust
a
off.
little sketch. Yeah, he may even be on a minutes restriction, or we'll see. But I think as the series goes on, I do believe his health will not only hold up, but like any other injury. I mean, hell, my old ass, I just got better with a terrible ankle, right? I went on a run last week,
Proud of you.
and mentally,
Hey,
I
man.
was a mess. I'm back, baby.
Cardio.
I was a mess, right? Mentally. But physically, I held up just fine.
All right, nice.
So I think there's some of that for all of us. When you come back from any type of ailment, mentally, you're like, oh, how's this going to go? Is this going to hold up? So I could see game one, maybe he's not fully himself. But I do believe he will be healthy as the series goes on, and he will get stronger as the series goes on. It's just a disconnect between us. These things happen. Here's another thing I wrote down. P.J. Washington. You said you have respect for him as a defender on the perimeter. I do as well, except for I do not believe P.J. Washington can hold Jayson Tatum's locker room towels. Like, he is going to be barbecue chicken with a side of ranch and an orange soda. Like, if Jayson Tatum actually comes out and performs like all of us are waiting for him to do in the finals, I believe he is going to absolutely smoke P.J. Washington, and he could very well end up being the finals MVP. He's odds-on favorite to win that, by the way. So I think Jayson Tatum is going to destroy P.J. Washington. It's a disconnect between us as well. But those are two pretty big things because you're predicated on, and to your credit, you always said when Porzingis went down in the postseason, you said then you knew you couldn't trust him, A. B, I don't believe he's going to come back 100% for the rest of the postseason.
I said get him healthy to the finals.
You've stuck
he
with
couldn't
that.
make it past the first round.
You stuck with that. So you could be right. But I believe he's going to be just fine. And then I do not think P.J. Washington is going to be a problem for Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum's biggest problem could be his damn self.
Boom.
Right?
That is it. And it sounds so cliche to say. But it's like when the lights are bright.
Yeah.
Man, game one against the Pacers.
Right.
Right? What do? Catch that rebound under the rim. You are one of the strongest guys in the league at your size and as a forward. Go up with two hands. At worst, you get fouled. He did not want the ball.
No, he didn't.
Jaylen Brown wanted it,
yes,
right?
Yes, he did. He always does.
JB gives me hope. But to the point of Porzingis has missed 73 games the last 3 seasons, regular season, 10 games this postseason. Never been past the Western Conference, the first round in the Western Conference.
Right.
The NBA Finals are different, obviously physically, obviously mentally, obviously emotionally. You're going to have this guy drop in his first game in 37 days in the NBA Finals. Someone that's always injured, often injured, against a team of bigs like Lively, like Gafford. Washington will get down there and play. He doesn't care, right? Kleba's back. Dude, Luka won't care. He's 6'7", 240. You think he cares about Porzingis? No. He'll bring it to him too. That's a lot, and they're going to test him and they're going to target him. That's a lot on one leg for a 7'3" athlete that you demand so much on both ends of the floor.
Yeah.
That's why I'm skeptic of Kristaps Porzingis. Can he make it through the finals? And I don't think he can. And he is the X factor in all this. I said it all year. They're sitting like George. I'm like, dude, I don't care. Sit him. What is he in the finals? You and me did our midseason grades.
That's right.
I said they have an A right now, but 95% of my course is based off the finals.
That's right.
And it's Kristaps Porzingis who carries the most weight for this team.
All right, well, let's get to some predictions for game one. I have a final score for you and everything. I agree with you that Jaylen Brown, the defender, is going to be more valuable in this series than Jaylen Brown, the bucket getter. I think he's going to have his hands full. Obviously, we understand that with that monster in Luka. So I'm going Jayson Tatum. I'm going to Jayson Tatum series here. I think, look, this feels kind of destined in a lot of ways. All year long, they run through the regular season and mow people down. And what does everyone say? Well, you got to get it done. I mean, George just told you. He's not even grading the paper until we get to the finals, right? So what are they going to do in the playoffs? Then they get to the playoffs. Well, this guy was hurt. Meanwhile, they're just mowing anyone down who's in front of them, which is their job. You can't control who gets hurt. You can't control who you play in these series. You can just control what you do. And they have been destroying people. Okay, check. Now we're in the finals, and I'm hearing, Luka, Kyrie. Listen, I believe that this Celtics team, again, And you could, by the way, you could be right because you bring up Missoula late game and Tatum late game and some of these other strugglers that we've seen late game. There's no defending that. But I actually believe a lot of these games are probably not blowouts, but I think they're going to be convincing. I don't know if we're going to see the Celtics in a vulnerable spot where it is tight late and there's decisions and chess pieces that need to be moved. I'm going to go 115-108, game one. Celtics win. Jayson Tatum, you got to have it. Game one, get that confidence. I think Jayson Tatum has a huge game tonight. 115-108, my official prediction. What say you?
The one thing at least the Celtics have is they know what they look like without Porzingis, which is big at this point.
Sure.
Fair defensively and all that.
Yeah.
I went through how they're going to match up defensively. Maybe have Horford on the rim runners. I don't know and all that. But it also comes down to they're going to be working. They're going to ramp them back up.
Yep.
And home court doesn't mean anything to the Celtics. You're going to be working. Kristaps Porzingis back in. What are you going to get? 12 minutes from him? 15 minutes? Maybe 20?
Probably 20.
And again, I said it. Mental, physical, emotional. What it takes to be in the finals. Your first game in almost 40 days. I go back to what the X factor is and all this and how good. This is a very good Mavericks team. This is not Miami without Jimmy Butler, where you could just target Tyler Hero, right?
Right.
This isn't the Cavaliers without Jared Allen the whole series, Donovan Mitchell last two games, Karis LeVert at the end, who did matter. This isn't the Pacers without Tyrese Halliburton, although they were better defensively without him. Couldn't shoot a three without him.
Right.
At all. And it's not Nemhard and McConnell who kicked your ass. It's the Dallas Mavericks, and I think with Porzingis getting worked back in, and Luka, the type of guy that rises to the moment, that the lights are bright and he doesn't care, thrives being the villain in an opposing building. Look what he did game 5 against the T-Wolves. I say that again. He'll just come out firing, silence the whole thing from the first quarter, second quarter, take over, run away with it from then. I think the Mavericks get game 1, and it's also because of Porzingis knocking off the rust.
Give me a score.
Oh. Exact score in the NBA is so tough. But I'll go finals. Both teams feeling out Porzingis. I'll go lower scoring than you.
Okay.
I'll go 107-102.
107-102 Mavs.
Two-shot game. Mavs.
I'll tell you this. Man, if you're right, even though I have Celtics in 6.
Pressure shifts.
Yeah, I was just going to say. Even though I have Celtics in 6, which tells you, obviously, they're going to lose a couple games here. If they lose game 1, I'm a little bit nervous because I actually think this Celtics team, mentally, their mental makeup, yeah, I get it. They've been here before and all that. I still think that game 1 is so important for this unit. At home,
Yeah.
that energy, you're healthy-ish, right? We'll see with Porzingis. Boy, I think you got to get one. And you definitely...
Yes.
You cannot give that dog you mentioned, Luka,
breath.
You
air,
just, I
life.
mean, you got to keep that pressure on his back. And if you go down, 0-1 here, and you lose that first one at home, all that pressure shifts back to the Celtics.
And it's big. The wild card in this one too. What's a Kyrie that you get?
Yeah.
Is it the guy flipping off the crowd? Lets that get to him?
I don't think so.
Or is it Kumbaya Kyrie?
Seems Kumbaya.
Basketball Kyrie.
Yeah.
Not all the stuff off the court
Right.
Kyrie.
He seems Kumbaya now.
And does he take on being the villain? Keep in mind his comments too, like basically like saying everything but I was a dumbass and I was immature when I was in Boston.
Right.
And I give this to Celtics fans. It's not because Kyrie left that you guys should be pissed off. It's what he did when he was here, and that's why you have the right to be pissed off.
Sure.
For Celtics fans. Because came in, wanted to be the number one, didn't want to be a pawn in LeBron building up that Cavs team. Came in, wanted to be the man, be a leader, never was toxic in that locker room. Mid-season saying, we need that 14, 15-year vet to keep things right. Bro, you're that vet. Al Horford was on the team and he was that vet. He wasn't as good as he is now, but he was there.
Right.
Leaving the team game 7, selling that Bucks series,
Yep.
acting for Giannis, like all this stuff that he was doing that was just sideways. That's why Celtics fans, completely justifiable to bring the wrath on Kyrie. Within the lines, treat him like a human being, which he is.
Sure.
What kind of Kyrie do you get to respond to that scene?
Yeah.
What kind of Mavs team do you get to respond to that scene? And to be fair, Drew Holiday, been to the finals, won it. Came back from down 0-2, 1-6 against the Suns. Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, been to the finals and lost. For the Dallas Mavericks, it's Kyrie that's been there, lost.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
Where's the experience playing on this level, on this stage? Celtics have been there.
Right. All right, look, we ask you to tweet us. You respond in kind always. Let's get to the tweets. Also, call us 617-790-0928. You can also email us, thechat@nesson.com. How about this one? Porzingis God is back.
Love it.
And then it's just a gift of Lil Yachty coming out. Yo, bro, I'm a Lil Yachty fan. He doesn't have one song that garners this at all.
Dude, this is today's day and age.
It's just
you know what it
unbelievable.
is. I just love these. I've seen the Tom Thibodeau one. This Kristaps one's great. Look how he's moving. Fred Vasseur, who is a team principal for Ferrari Racing, has one.
No kidding.
Bro, F1 cuts.
That's
Yeah,
great.
we're going deep cut on that. I love that GIF and video.
Celtics banner 18 tweets. This has been the longest
I'll blame
week
you.
of my life, bro.
I'm with you, too.
Same, bro.
How long you have to wait in between games? I'm with you.
Same, bro. How about this? David Ortiz, all but guaranteeing a Celtics championship. He's never lied to me before. I don't see why he'd start today. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. He ain't never told no lie.
You see, Poppy was sitting on the Green Monster the other night with the Larry O'Brien
Such a
trophy.
boss.
It's just always David Ortiz doing the most random ish.
Such a boss. How about Guillermo from Jimmy Kimmel? Was
Celtics
in
Unite.
TD Garden.
Tea party with Drew Holiday.
Having a Boston Tea Party.
I love it.
With Drew Holiday. That's from Celtics Unite there. You got to love that. Hey, bring it on, baby. Game one tonight. Come on.
Credit to the creativity. Guillermo's one of a kind. Like to think of this.
Yep.
And I just love Drew Holiday. Just he's one of the best people.
Yeah.
Like crossing paths with him when he was in Milwaukee from a media outlook. Drew Holiday's one of the best people you'll ever come across. Him being a great sport and doing that with Guillermo, I just love that.
All right, let's talk about the money, honey. NBA nearing an 11.
You owe me $20.
I do. But by the way, when you hear this number, you may let that 20 go. NBA is nearing an 11-year, George, $76 billion TV rights deal with NBC, ESPN, and Amazon.
That's
Let me
nuts.
just say that again. $76 billion with a B dollars. Bruh. This is real cabbage right here. This is all I want to know. NBC's involved. Cool. We got to get the John Tesh song, right?
Oh, exactly. Don't change a thing to it.
We got to get it.
Roll out the same old intro to it,
You
the
gotta have
graphics
it.
and everything.
Yeah, it's all grainy.
Game one, do that just for the nostalgia for us adults. Then change it up and update. I don't care.
Basketball. I love
It rings through your ears. You singing that, I just picture it perfectly.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not many things can do that.
It's a way of life.
But 100 games each season, half of which will be on the Peacock. You lost me. Luckily, ABC has a final, so we don't deal with any of that BS.
Yeah.
Prime Video, I have a login from someone somewhere. I don't have the cock, so I just you put half of the games on Peacock. Ask like the NFL what that's doing for them. But you know what it is for the NBA? Every game that's on the cock, they get a nice fat check for.
Dog, I'm going to need you to knock that off. How do you feel about TNT losing the NBA? Is this keeping you up at
Yeah,
night?
oh no, it does. Especially when you think about the bids that TNT has been on. I have it on my notes, pulling them up. Obviously, the March Madness, Major League Baseball,
Yeah, but
NHL. They did
I think
NASCAR.
they have college
How
football
much?
coming up.
How much? I don't mean to crap on them.
uh-oh.
And I said how important Otani and Skeens are to baseball.
Come on, it's the best show on TV.
How much are you paying Major League Baseball that you're not going to get the NBA at all if you're the TNT, right? And you lose
right.
these deals.
Right.
But also, how much could they have bid for? How many games could they have gotten? Because they went up to $2.2 billion.
Right.
NBC came in with 2.6, so it's like $400 million right there. Nuts. Just nuts thinking about that.
Man.
But how you like? Is baseball worth it? You know,
Right.
they put a bid on. I got college football playoff
They
games.
got college football, too.
The NBA's global, man. So that's where it's tough. I hate TNT losing it, but I hope that pre and post game show can like enter free agency just
Well,
out of this is what we're for.
I don't think so. I think some of
What are
those
they
guys
gonna
are
do?
under contract still
Yeah.
with Turner. So it wouldn't be the OG squad. That's the issue. Like that, Ernie and all those guys, that's over. That's done. So, I mean, my thing is this. At least you get a swan song of a season. Like next season will be it for them. So like we've
True.
seen great players like Kobe, rest his soul, comes to mind. We've seen a ton of great players have like their last season. We know it's their last season. They get love in all the visiting cities that they're playing in, and fans come out and see them, and they wave, and there's a video tribute and some flowers. Congratulations. I feel like that with, the inside the NBA crew is like, at least you get one last season of hijinks and shenanigans, and then it's, right off to the sunset.
It sucks they're losing it. Who knows? We'll see who has NBC. I do like Tarico.
It's not going to be as good.
I do like Tarico calling big games, though, again.
Yeah.
Great at basketball.
Yeah.
Great at basketball. Called that Dame game winner in the playoffs a couple of years ago where he might have died literally sitting courtside. So at least Tarico's calling games. But that TNT going away. Like, what happens now to Brian Anderson calling games, right?
Right.
Mike Breen.
I mean, listen, I'm not hating on – it's – my thing is more of the inside the NBA show.
Yeah, that going away sucks.
Right? Like the broadcast team and all that stuff for NBC, I'm sure will do fine. I'm sure the shows will be fine as well. But what inside the NBA is special. That's not fine.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a difference between a solid show, a good show, and a special show. And what they have is special.
And then what they were doing, Western Conference Finals, being at the arena,
Right.
having players sitting at the desk with them,
dope.
the Luka answers they were getting
Dope.
after he hit the buzzer beater over Gobert,
Dope.
having Gafford up there, like
Yep.
Mavs kept winning. They eventually had Daniel effing Gafford up there. It was Shaq O'Neal, Shaquille O'Neal, and Charles Barkley. And Gafford was great. I loved it. They bring out the best of these guys. And you have Draymond Green, who's great. You could have your I hate him as a basketball player. Great analyst.
He was a great analyst, yeah.
They have such a good setup. That's what I'm going to miss.
I actually am ready for him to just go into the media and be
I
done with basketball.
agree.
I'm
I
so
agree.
sick of I just can't take it anymore. And that team's not good anymore, and he looks washed. Like, just get Draymond. Draymond, can you just go
Fade into the
broadcast?
darkness, bro.
Right? Like, ride off into the sunset. That's the way to do it. All right, the Stanley Cup Finals are upon us. Who do you like for the Conn Smythe Trophy? We have FanDuel's odds here. As you know, George, everything in my life always leads back to gambling. Surprise, surprise to no one. Connor McDavid is your favorite to win it. Listen, bro, Matthew Tkachuk at 6-1. I don't hate it. I like the Panthers to win this thing. I don't hate that price. 6-1.
I mean, it's a good price. Tkachuk hasn't been that stellar.
He hasn't, but he's
comes
capable.
down to Barkov.
He's capable.
But look at Barkov, plus 380. Great payout.
Yeah.
Panthers, to me, win it in 6. And Barkov as a first-line center, but what he does both ends of the ice.
Yeah.
If they win, it's because of what he does to Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman and Leon
Sure.
Draisaitl. That could be the difference.
That's a nice price.
Compared to, and he scores. The one that gets me, and our producer Brendan was talking to me about this. Zach Hyman, 190-1. He's one of their best goal scorers, if not their best, because McDavid's an assist machine now. How is he 190-1? Like, did he come down with the flu and he's going to miss the whole Stanley Cup final? But you're asking me on who I'd bet to win the Conn Smythe. I think Panthers win. I like Barkov, but look at Bobrovsky at 4-1. He's going to come out if they're winning games. 3-2, 2-1. Right. No, dude, he's bad. He's not
sketchy.
good. Artemi Panarin breaks through, going top shelf on him. But what do the Panthers do? They know how to protect Sergei Bobrovsky.
Yeah, they play good defense.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone goes down low. He's fine on the legs. He let up a soft goal against Panarin.
Yeah.
It was glove side. No screener in front of him. Went right through.
Right.
You go high, but the Panthers don't give you those chances.
Right.
It's going to be, we're going to see the Oilers. They had 10 shots when they won against the Stars. They're going to have 12 shots in the third period. Can't find a rhythm. Panthers win 2-0. Go up 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final. And it's going to be Bobrovsky with gaudy numbers and the final piece to a Hall of Fame resume for Bobrovsky, too. 2 Vezinas, Stanley Cup final this far into his career.
Okay, so we agree that the Panthers win the series, but I just want to play devil's advocate because not to get too far in the weeds of the actual odds here and the gambling aspect of this, but if you do believe that the Oil is going to win the Stanley Cup, you have got to bet Connor McDavid at plus 200 because to be honest with you, that's a really good price still. It's
2-1 on McJesus.
Yes, like if they're going to win it, it's going to be because of him. What do you think hockey wants the most? Do they want this Panthers team who was there last year and didn't get it done? Now they're back. They have star power. We've talked about a number of them. You know, do they want them to go ahead and have this moment and it's like a crowning achievement for them? Or do they want this young phenom who is a superstar in Connor McDavid to break through, get his first cup? And listen, I mean, it is Canada, right? Mm-hmm. You have a Canadian team as a champ. What do you think hockey wants the most?
You said it, it's Canada.
Yeah.
That entire nation, the first Stanley Cup in over 35 years.
Yeah.
It has to be Canada on me to this.
Yeah.
And it's Connor McDavid, the most dominant player in this sport. And in the NBA, the best player is Jokic. In the NFL, it's Patrick Mahomes. In Major League Baseball, it's Shohei Ohtani. In hockey, it's Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid has the biggest leg up compared from the 1 to the number 2 guy in the league compared to any other sport. Like, clearly, boundlessly, the most dominant player in his sport. You need him to win one and get one. It would just be great. And it's in Canada. It's a Canadian team. Yes, it's Oilers. But this is the NHL. You'll have the diehards that'll watch. No one in New York that's a mid-weather fan, fair-weather fan for the Rangers is going to watch the Stanley Cup final. Diehards will that love hockey, they'll watch.
Ranger fans
Same
are
thing
upset.
here in Boston. Same thing here in Boston. They won't watch the fair-weather fans. Go to any of the hockey cities. Minnesota, right? Chicago, they won't watch.
Yeah.
Diehards in hockey are watching. If it was New York and let's go west, Dallas Stars, it would kind of be the same. So it doesn't matter at this point who wins, small market, what it is. But you want Connor McDavid hoisting the Stanley Cup because you want, when people go, Connor McDavid's the best player, like so dominant, so good. How many cups has he won? None. What?
Right. Bro, I don't know why I'm laughing. It's kind of rude, but I haven't
go
seen
ahead.
you. I haven't seen you.
Go ahead.
Since the
It's because you looked at my face. That's why you're laughing.
I haven't seen you since the Rangers. I mean, look, man.
No, you know what? It was cleansing watching
they
that.
went out swinging.
It was cleansing watching that Game 6 loss because I'm with my boys and they're watching. They go, why do we only have 20 shots and there's 5 minutes left in the third? And another one goes, why does the Panthers, he really doesn't know hockey. I don't get it. Why do they just like throw the puck in deep and go after it, guys? What they do.
That's what they
They're
do.
forechecks elite.
They got dogs.
Put everything in the middle, control the boards. They take you out of your game. They protect their goalie. They win 2-1. They're ugly. They're dirty. And they get it done.
Hey, man, it's a lot of rumors that Igor might be rolling out. Is that true, man?
Dude, what does he want? $12 million a year? Let him go.
Come on, George.
Who's in the Stanley Cup Finals? Stuart Skinner and Sergei Bobrovsky. You don't need a goalie. Who just got eliminated? Igor Shesterkin and Jake Ottinger.
Put him on the ice.
I'm not doing this again.
You can see the vein.
It was Henrik Lundqvist. For how many years? I'm done. You want $12 million? It's all about what you surround your goalie with. $12 million a year? No. Go. I'm not doing this again. Look at who's in the Stanley Cup Finals. Sergei Bobrovsky and Stuart Skinner. Igor Shesterkin wants to get paid. Good for you, bro. You are elite at what you do. Get $12 million a year. Set your family up for success the rest of your life. Build around it. Because the Rangers need more than Igor Shesterkin. They need more than Mika Zibanejad.
Boston has entered the chat, family. If you want to call and give George your support
go ahead,
at
please.
his time of need, it's 617-790-0928. Boston has entered the chat, family. If you want to send us your emails.
You sound like the voice for those adopted dog commercials. In the arms
For just 75 cents a day, you can calm George's ass down. Email
I don't know
us
the lyrics.
I don't know either. Bro, you were singing though.
Hold on, I'm looking them up.
No, isn't it? Will you remember me?
I don't think that's it either. Spend all
The chat
your time
at Nesson.com to help George. You can also send your tweets as George's vein explodes in his forehead from being so upset. So what I got from all this is you like the Panthers to win it, but you're not going to watch a damn second of it.
No, I'm watching it. I said fair weather fans.
But
you know
you're
me.
all in.
It's either Connor McDavid lifts it up or it's a Panthers forecheck and beat the hell of their way to a Stanley Cup, which would be great. Panthers... Weird, just like a niche, weird, just whole existence. Like such a forgettable franchise, but the fans show up, throw the rats on the ice, all that.
Yeah.
They get their first cup.
I don't know. I feel like...
I want Edmonton to win it, though. I want Connor McDavid to get it.
Well, for the sake of being right, I want the Panthers to win it because that's who I picked. But honestly, I think for the love of the sport that I have, I agree with you. I think Connor McDavid and Canada in general winning it would just be better for the game. And also, I've heard you talk about this before. Hockey does not do a great job promoting and marketing their stars. And here you have one in Connor McDavid. I think they have an opportunity to really do it and make it happen.
I'd be interested if they win it. You take a picture of Connor McDavid and a picture of Caitlin Clark. Go to random people. Who do they know?
Oh,
seriously,
I like that.
Even after they win it.
For all of our best content of the day, make sure you follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. For Travis Thomas, George Balekji, Boston has entered the chat. Till we enter it again next time. Enjoy the game tonight. Peace.
Later.